performance is Nellie Bly taking a stand for the insane. It is mid-1800 America, and Dorothea Dix is on a one-person campaign across our country advocating to improve the way we care for our insane. Before she was through, many states agreed to build state-run institutions, moving the insane from pre-prisons, where they were housed with prisoners, to a more humane setting. Just 3 months before Dorothea Dix passed away, a young woman unexpectedly took up her torch. I'm here, I am actually here. It is May 1887, and I, Nellie Bly, renowned Pittsburgh journalist, have arrived in New York. New York is the largest city in the nation, as well as the capital of the newspaper industry. It's been 4 months, and I have barely scraped by. And now that my purse has been stolen, I am truly penniless. I have always said, energy rightly applied and directed will accomplish anything. So I am going to the world. It is the only newspaper in town focused on helping people, and I want to be their first female journalist. The world's assignment. I shall feign insanity and have myself committed to an insane asylum. I'm not to make sensational revelations, but instead write things up as I find them, good or bad. Give praise or blame as I think best, and the truth all the time. I have little belief in my ability to fool the insanity experts, so I will stay up all night. I will practice my acting, and read ghost stories to frighten myself. For tomorrow, I must appear insane. Now it is time to locate a boarding house. Temporary home for females, number 84 2nd Avenue. Yes, this will work. Once there, I will feign insanity in the hopes of being committed. Yes, everything is so sad. Shh! Do they? Why, they look horrible to me, just like crazy women. I'm so afraid of them. They all look crazy. Shh! There are so many crazy people about, and one can never tell what they will do. No, I have no friends, but I have trunks. Where are they? Where are my trunks? I want them. In time, I had the other boarders so scared that Mrs. Standard had no choice but to call the police. I was escorted to Essex Market Police Courtroom where I met Judge Duffy. I won't stay here, I want my trunks. I won't stay here, I want my trunks. I won't stay here, I want my trunks. Shh! I'm not sick and never was. I only want my trunks. Drugs. I do not know what drugs are. I do not take drugs. I only want my trunks. Shh! I was sent to Bellevue Hospital, where after a quick exam and many useless questions, the doctor made his decision. I was deemed positively demented, a hopeless case, and I needed to be put where someone would take care of me. On Monday, I was placed on a boat for Blackwell's Island. I succeeded. I know I'm sane and will be released in just a few days, and yet my heart is twinging. I'm locked behind the unmerciful bolts and bars of a madhouse. Upon arrival, an attendant removed my clothes and gave me this slip to wear. It is lightweight and dirty, very dirty. I'm cold and shivering as I await my turn to see the doctor. When my name is called, I enter, knowing I will no longer feign insanity. I answer the few simple questions I am asked, and the doctor confirms what many others have already decided. I am insane. It is time for supper. The tea in front of me is pink in color and very weak. I'm given a piece of thick bread with butter and a small saucer with 5 prunes. Most of the prunes are rotten, and the butter is horrible. I eat nothing. After dinner, we are taken to the sitting room, and then shortly after, we are taken to the bathroom. When it was my turn to bathe, a nurse tells me to remove my clothes. I protested, but it was no use. She forced me naked, and I jumped into the same dirty water used by the previous patients. It's too cold, please have the other patients look away. 3 buckets of ice-cold water were poured over my head, into my eyes, my ears, my nose, and my mouth. I feel the sensations of a drowning person, and for once, I do look insane. I'm not given a towel and return to the same dirty slip. Still soaking wet, I'm taken to room 28. As I lie down, my wet body drenches the pillows and the sheets. I am cold. The nurse quickly leaves my cell, locking the door from the outside. I lay awake all night thinking of the horrors that would occur if a fire were to break out. I would most certainly die, for no nurse would take the time to unlock each and every cell door. I have now been here a few days. Each day is the same. We spend hour after hour sitting on this straight back bench. We are not allowed books to read or paper to write on. I once asked if I could write a letter, and I was told patients were not allowed. The truth is, we aren't even allowed to speak. The nurses and attendants are cruel, often making life in the asylum worse than it needs to be. I saw a nurse put her cold hands and ice on an older patient's neck and laugh savagely over the pain she was causing. A young girl of just 18 was pounced on by several nurses, brutally beat, with her face being slapped and hit to the floor. In the same day, they beat an older woman and spit in the ear of another. One patient had bald spots where they whipped out fistfuls of her hair. Consistently, I present myself as sane, always making a point of asking for my release. Yet I find the more that I endeavor to prove them of my sanity, the less I am believed. The truth is, the insane asylum on Blackwell's Island is a human rat trap. It is easy to get in, but once here, it is impossible to get out. I have just learned of my release. I'm thankful that the world saw fit to come for me, but I feel unprepared. I actually feel pained. For 10 days, I have been one of them. I feel intensely selfish for leaving them behind. They are suffering a fate worse than death. It is 1891, and it has been 4 years since I completed my assignment on Blackwell's Island. I entered the asylum with one goal: to prove myself a woman worthy of a job at the world. After I experienced asylum life, however, I knew that I had to do more. I, Nellie Bly, had to take a stand to help God's most unfortunate children. After I returned home, my expose was printed in the World. It shed light on the poor and inhumane conditions at the asylum, including neglect of the patients and physical abuse. It immediately caught the attention of people throughout New York, but more amazingly, it drew national attention. It was reprinted in newspapers across the country and eventually printed in book form with the title 10 Days in a Madhouse. I continued to advocate long after my expose was printed. Shortly after my expose was printed in the World, I was summoned to testify before the grand jury. On the strength of my story and testimony, an additional $1 million was appropriated for the benefit of the insane, with $50,000 budgeted specifically for Blackwell's Island. The state also named a commission in lunacy. The commission held its first meeting in June 1889. After inspecting all county asylums, they took immediate action to define a uniform and enforceable code that would improve patient care. They standardized medical registration and medical record keeping. All physicians, nurses, and attendants are now required to complete mandatory training. The caretaker-to-patient ratio has improved, and oversight is now present at night. A time when care was previously at its worst. Inspectors were appointed to ensure consistency. They are responsible for overseeing building maintenance, the implementations of the commission's orders, and the management of receipts and expenditures. Medical inspectors were appointed to ensure the care of every patient. Daily asylum life has improved. A chef assures that food is not only edible, but nourishing and enjoyable. Patients are now permitted to read books, write letters, and receive mail. Each night, they are bathed in hot water and given a clean towel to dry themselves. I'm pleased to share that the Commission has changed the cell locking system, and patients are now more likely to survive a fire. Most importantly, abuse is not tolerated. To those remaining on Blackwell's Island, I hope what I have done has made a difference in your life. And as I always say, energy rightly applied and directed will accomplish anything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We can take a couple minutes to break down.